In July of 2012, I tore my left ACL playing basketball at Mansion Park. I didn't have the surgery until December 11th, 2012. On January 7th, 2013, Robert Griffin III of the Washington Redskins had the same surgery after tearing his ACL in a playoff game. My surgery was done by Dr. Josh Port, his was done by Dr. James Andrews. We both entered rehab at the same time, and we went through the recovery process together. When you're down on the ground, writhing in pain, a million things are rushing through your mind. For me, it was when I was at Mansion Park in Altoona. I took one wrong step, landed wrong, and my knee was gone. When I was down on the ground, I had to make a decision to get up and fight. I couldn't sit there and lay. I had to get up and know that I could do it and become what I was capable of. The same with RG3. So in that moment we shared that we were going to get up and fight and become bigger, faster, and stronger. That first week was rough. Laying in bed, having to do simple stretches. You're up till 4 o'clock in the morning, writhing in pain, getting drugs, doing everything you can to stay comfortable. Your legs propped up, you can't sleep, it's miserable. You can do little milestones like starting to slightly bend your leg, doing little exercises, putting weight on it. If you can lift your leg out of surgery, that's a huge accomplishment. Both me and RG3 could. It's tough, but once you go to therapy, everything gets better. My therapist was Aileen Krimmel at Dreher in Altoona. She worked me over tough. It was a tough process, but I became stronger from it. You start out small, you start out with little stretches and seeing where you can get a baseline for where you're at, how strong your leg really is. And my leg wasn't that strong. They took a huge part of my hamstring and I was weak from it. So I had to work twice as hard as everyone else. First thing was to get it straight. If you can get the leg straight, get it back to where it once was, that's huge. After that, it was working on your balance, seeing if you could gain a range of motion and balance back in your leg. RG3 and I both got that very quickly. When I was watching him, seeing how he was being documented, same thing. We both got that back quick. So then it was a matter of starting to gain the strength back and the movement. A lot of biking, elliptical, defensive slides, different things you can do, hamstring stretches. The hamstring was the biggest thing because that's the part that was taken away. So slowly and surely you begin to see what you can do. And I was watching RG3, and he was giving me motivation. So that was my motivation this time. I knew someone else was going through it with me, so I worked my tail off. Then, by the time I could start running, things became easier. I had a better attitude. I was more positive. Everything I thought was going to go my way. And then finally, when I was able to cut, I would go out to the Hollidaysburg Y, Mansion Park again, where I first tore my ACL. And that was a big thing for me to go back to where I did it and overcome that. And it was every day after I would lift, go run a couple miles, go cut on the field. And it got better. Slowly but surely it got better. And now I'm here, I'm 100% healthy. RG3 and I are both healthy. He was a motivation for me. To see someone else go through it was huge. And I'm proud to say that I'm 100% recovered. It was an experience that I would not trade for anything else in the world. I would not wish it on anyone else, but for how hard I worked, it definitely made me a better person. I have a lot of things going for me now, and I think a lot of it started in that moment when I was down on the ground and had no place to go but up. And once I decided to go up, the sky was the limit for me.